The Denver Broncos added some serious juice to the roster on day 2 of the NFL draft. After a flurry of trades moving down twice in the second round and then jumping back up late in the third, George Paton and company walked away with 3 new faces who could each carve out a role in this team right away. And as we head into the all-important day 3, Denver's still got a chance to find value and depth, even with limited draft capital in hand. So let's break down where things stand. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. First up, pick 60 in the second round. The Broncos selected RJ Harvey, the explosive running back out of UCF. Tough runner, great burst, and a guy who just knows how to get north-south in a hurry. Then at pick 74, they grabbed wide receiver Pat Bryant from Illinois. Big body, good hands, and someone who gives the receiver room a little more physicality. Finally, after trading back up to pick 101 at the tail end of the third round, Denver landed Sai'vion Jones, a defensive lineman from LSU. This kid can move. Great motor, raw power, and definitely someone who adds to the interior D-line depth alongside Zach Allen and John Franklin Myers. And look, despite what the usual crowd on social media might be yelling about, this has been a really strong draft so far. They've added talent where they needed it, they didn't reach, and they've brought in guys who can contribute quickly. In some cases, they've added legitimate blue-chip athletes. Now let's talk about day 3. What's left in the war chest? Right now, after all the movement on day 2, Denver holds just 2 picks, one in the 4th round at 134 and one in the 6th at 197. That's not a lot of darts to throw at the board. And make no mistake, throwing darts is exactly what day 3 is all about. You want as many chances as possible to find that late-round gem, the diamond in the rough. So I fully expect George Paton to be active again. I'd be surprised if he stays put at 134. Look for a trade-down scenario to try and pick up at least a couple of 5th-rounders or an additional 6th. Now, let's dive into some names still on the board who could make a lot of sense for Denver. Even though they added RJ Harvey, I don't think they're done at running back. This is one of the deepest running back classes we've seen in years, and there's value all over the board. Some names I'm watching: Damien Martinez, DJ Giddens, Bashaw Tutin, Devin Neal, and one of my absolute draft crushes, Jaka Croskey-Merritt. That kid runs angry. I also like Ollie Gordon, Marcus Yarns, Jaden Blue, LeQuint Allen, and Brashard Smith. The Broncos can easily double up at running back and come away better for it. Now let's talk tight ends, specifically inline tight ends. Not big slot types like Greg Dulcich, guys who can actually block and stay in on rundowns. A true Y. A few favorites still on board. Gunnar Helm, a Denver native who played under Dave Logan at Cherry Creek. He'd be a perfect fit, and there's a hometown storyline there that writes itself. Then there's Jackson Haw, arguably the best pure blocking tight end in this class. Not a threat in the passing game, but as a blocker, he's a beast. Offensive line is another area I think Denver's going to hit before this thing wraps up. At tackle, you've got some late-round flyers like Holland Pierce. Really stood out at the Shrine Bowl, Chase Lunt and Carson Vinson. If they want to go interior, Miles Frazier is still hanging around at guard. Now, edge rusher isn't a screaming need, so I don't think Denver's going to chase one. But if they do, Braden Swinson is a name I'd circle. Long, athletic, and productive. Let's pivot back to the defensive line. They just added Sai'vion Jones, but they haven't addressed nose tackle, and that's still a glaring hole. If they want a big-body space eater in the middle, guys like Deone Walker, Jordan Phillips, and C.J. West are still sitting there. Or if they want another rotational DE to back up Franklin Myers and Allen, they could take a swing on Joshua Farmer, Aeneas Peebles, or Ty Robinson, all of whom can give you meaningful reps right away. Linebacker is another intriguing spot. Jeffrey Bassa and Danny Stutzman are still on the board, and both have all-pro upside if they hit their ceilings. Big-time players, big-time athletes. At safety, Hunter Wohler from Wisconsin is worth mentioning. He's got connections to Jim Leonhard, and the familiarity could fast-track his development in the system. So the bottom line is that there's a ton of talent still out there. If the Broncos can find a way to trade down from 134 and add a couple more picks, they'll have a real shot at snagging more than one of these guys. The board's still rich in value, and there's plenty of opportunity left to round out what's already shaping up to be a strong draft class.